What's going on, everybody? Happy Thanksgiving. Let's have a day. Let's have a day. 3 epic football games, playoff implications, high totals, games that are supposed to be epic. So we got a lot of boosts to utilize. We got a lot of bets to get through. You can pick the odds as always on Thursdays, and let's find some of our best bets for Thanksgiving, and let's have a hell of a day. Focusing all on Thanksgiving, we have a bunch of boosts to use across DK FanDuel. We got a bunch of jackpot bonuses, profit boosts. Let's get to it. Let me get 1 second here to tweet out a promo, and we're going to hop right into it. For those who were on stream last night, I gave out a bunch of my favorite game line bets as well as one prop, but today we're going to be talking about all the boosts. We're going to use the EV screen, see what we can find, and getting after it. We have a massive day. It's going to be so much fun. Beautiful slate. Better times, better people with Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and appreciate everyone who's tuning in. Let's do some crazy bets. I talked about this, and like when I say this, I'm like kind of half serious, but like half joking that Thanksgiving is like the squarest day of the year. Obviously, definitely some recency bias, but I feel like there is a situation where like this is a year or a day where square bets are going to come in, some fun touchdown parlays. Like I've joked about, like your square friend, square cousin who never gambles, but only really gambles for this year is the one who's going to be hitting some crazy lays today. So while we're definitely going to be betting EV, because we always do bet EV, we're going to, also just mix in some fun things, even with the boosts that we have. We're going to utilize those, of course, and find the best EV legs from there, but we're also going to play some gut feels as well. And feel free to drop stuff that you like in the chat. So I gladly will, tail some of those, add some legs to a lay. Definitely make this like a community sweat. So let's start off with an EV screen. So I will say that I played a couple of game lines. I talked about them on stream yesterday. I bet the Packers money line and the Packers +3. So I am in on Green Bay, and I'm quickly going to reset my filter to just 24 hours. I know that we could still obviously find some bets that pop up for Sunday or for Friday's games for in the EV screen and lock them in, but like I do want to focus on these games, and I would have to go to my filters actually for every single bet type, I think, actually. So instead, we're just gonna do what we normally do and filter by game. If we see something for Sunday that we like and we bet it today, I don't think anyone's gonna be upset about that. But we'll see what we got so far. So Jahan Dotson +550 anytime tutty. That is for Friday, so I'll skip it for now. Rashad Smith 825. So Pacheco is back. I already have Hunt anytime. I got a good price at 175. This is interesting to me. I'm curious what his snap share will be. I'll pull up some FTN at times as well, just to take a quick look. But Rashad Smith has definitely been a bit more involved, and we saw him involved in the red zone as well. More of a receiving back at this point. Obviously, he's a rookie, so we can see how he progresses in his career. But with Pacheco back, I'm not sure where his role is going to sit. Now, it's 825 to market is definitely 10% EV. So this is something that's absolutely worth looking at. But we'll pass for now, and we'll circle back. 365, a lot of things for Sunday, Thursday. We're going to see what we can find. We'll start with the Packers because we're going to go game by game here. Gibbs under receptions, 3.4% EV. This, from an EV perspective, looks good, but I'm honestly back to like the square versus like EV. I know I faded McCaffrey on Monday. It had an 8% EV, and we're getting AEC. Happy Thanksgiving, brother. Romeo Dobbs first TD, 13-1 on DK. We'll definitely take a look at that. But on this Gibbs here, like back to like my square thoughts, like with no Laporta, and we know that Gibbs has been bottled up in the running game against the Packers. He has yet to have a 65+ rush yard game against Green Bay in his career. I anticipate them throwing to Gibbs many, many, many times. I'm not going to lie. So I don't care. This is +133. It's 3.4% EV. I'm honestly going to pass on that Gibbs. I think that's too good to be true. Monroe under 365, Montgomery. So we're already in the 2% EVs for this slate right now. So let's do a bit of a manual check here. And we'll build out legs from every parlay. I mean, let's just check every game while we're here, actually, for today. So Chiefs, Rashad Smith, we see. We'll look at that. Javonte Williams, rush attempts on Novik, 2.7%. Under receiving yards, Turpin, we're already in the twos, which, again, I'm not shocked by. Also, there's Rice under 6.5. It's only 1.4% EV. But, again, like I'm not fading Rashee Rice today. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to do it. If this was a regular Sunday, sure, I'll favor Rashee Rice at 1.5% EV, but in this kind of matchup, I really Thanksgiving Day, I'm not fading. Chase Brown of receiving yards at Rivers. I actually like this a lot. If you have a Rivers account, 3.4%. I'm limited to shit here, so I can't bet this, but I would definitely bet that, honestly. And we'll be coming back to the EV screen multiple times here. Mark Andrews over 3.5 receptions, 1.3 at Novig. I actually do like that. Definitely a parlay candidate. Jamar Chase, Sarah Camry already in the one. So very low EVs on the board today. We know that the books are going to be sharp. We got 3 games. This is not surprising in any way, shape, or form. But let's dive in game by game here. We'll call out the game lines that I bet. Packers +3, Packers money line. I got a +140. There's 145 at Novik, 583. Definitely take advantage of that. 146 actually a profit, $200. So if you're interested in tailing, haven't gotten in, you got a couple of bucks to play with there. I bet the over in KC and Dallas. So boost that we have, I have King of the End Zone on DK. That's a $2 million bonus bet for anytime touchdown bet. But they also have to have the longest touchdown of the day. So a little bit of gamesmanship there, which I like. 4 NFL profit boosts, but 2 are live, if I'm not mistaken. So we have 2 20% SGPs on 3+ legs on DK. That's fun. So we'll definitely utilize that. And another 20% 3-legger, but this is good for the entire weekend. TBD, and if we use that on DK for today or if we save that for Sunday. Have one for tomorrow. I'll be streaming tomorrow for the Friday game, excuse me. And a reminder on FanDuel, we have the touchdown jackpot. That's the first or last touchdown. So we'll definitely be utilizing that. They give you an option. They gave me a 50% boost and then an option for another boost, which you want it to be. And I took the 50%. So I got 2 50% boosts on FanDuel, 2 25s on DK. So let's rip it. And of course, we're betting first tutty. So AC calling out Romeo, knowing a bit of the system here that I like. System is not like the right word because I wouldn't call it a system per se, but it is like how I evaluate first tutties. I like to look at what Circa is, what their role is, and kind of compare here. Manuel, happy Thanksgiving, brother. The chalk TD lay we'll be crafting, and I will tell you right now that an absolute guaranteed leg in that will be Rashee Rice, because I also think I might bet a 2-leg Rashee Rice touchdown parlay. So we're building the chalk lay. I'll be here until like a 10:30ish, so we got some time. Building the chalk lay. Rashee Rice will be in that chalk lay. My issue, AEC, with this is, and I'm going to check the price of the other guy that I like here, is I think at this point Christian Watson is WR1. From a pricing perspective, though, now Dobbs does have the better value, 11-1 Circa, 13-1 DK. So I would probably bet Dobbs, but I am interested in Watson props. And I'm also interested in Wicks. 22-1 DK, 20-1 Circa, but it's 22-42 at Kalshi. Not a ton of liquidity. Better than Novig and FanDuel. Dontavian Wicks has actually been one of the man beaters for the Packers in the absence of Jaden Reed and with the banged up Josh Jacobs. So I'm interested in some Wicks stuff as well. Obviously, he's a guy who is boomer bust. I mean, he had like 2 catches on the first drive. We were sweating that on Sunday where we were waiting for him to go over on our under, but he ended up not hitting, which was great. So he's an interesting cat. Gotta check some lines, because while I do think the Packers win, I don't think the Lions get shut out by any means here. ASB at 750 is honestly intriguing. Not like he's had a ton of success against Detroit, against Green Bay, but like compared to the market, I know that's pretty low for our standards, but I'm interested. Gibbs is going to be chalk city and Circa with the best price, telling me what I already think about Gibbs, that I'm not really interested in backing a ton of Gibbs stuff from yardage overs, but I do like his potential receptions, even if it's negative EV, because I think that he just should be funneled the football at this point. And we'll check Big G, Jameson Williams, 11-1. So from AAC, from the way that we love to bet first HUDs, we actually are looking at a Dobbs spot on betting that. So let's keep evaluating here. We're going to be betting first touchdowns for every game, so don't get me wrong, and utilizing every boost. Let me just tweet out one more link quickly to try pick the odds. If you're watching on YouTube, you can click the link in the description to try PTO. If you're on X, link under the tweet if you want to try pick the odds on this beautiful Thanksgiving and use the same tools that I'm using currently. Let's look at some receiving yard stuff for Jameson Williams. Actually, I want to start with Christian Watson, because I am thinking he's a guy who I'm going to be putting his legs in a lay, like kind of like undebatably, where is he? It was W. I can't spell. Quickly, though, I want to check Musgrave, 30 to 1, no. And Fitzpatrick. So Fitzpatrick, 35 to 1, also fits our mold here. 30 to 1 Kalshi, 32 to 1 Novik, 27 to 1 Circa, 35 to 1 DK. So Fitzpatrick, though, of course, nowhere near chalk, is interesting. And I'm going to pull up FTN right now, and I'll switch my screen in a second here. And I want to see what the route share were the last 2 weeks. Obviously, no Tucker Kraft. And no Laporte is really so huge for no tight end for either of these teams. Starting tight ends is really massive. It really is a big drop off for these teams with the lack of tight ends here. But let me get Green Bay going, and I'll switch the last 2 weeks because we were kind of on some Musgrave stuff last week. It ended up being more of a Fitzpatrick show. I don't know if that's just kind of how the dice rolled and how the variance went, or if he was getting a lot more routes run and things like that. So let's dive in. Route percentage here. So again, Watson, I think, is the WR1, like 34%. But with that being said, we know Romeo on the goal line here. Wick's running a lot more routes, only 6 targets though. Wilson is looking good, and Fitzpatrick has taken over from the routes run. So I'm actually going to go out and say this right now. While I'm willing to bet 3 first touchdowns, definitely not in all games, every game this week, or today, I should say. I'm talking about Thanksgiving football here. I'm interested in this John Fitzpatrick for a long shot first tutty, so I'm betting that. John Fitzpatrick first touchdown. I'm willing to bet another chalky Packer, so this would be one of the games where I'm down to bet 3. I think this is probably the only game I'm down to bet 3 because I think the other 2 games are definitely more like chalk oriented for potential first touchdowns. But for an absolute long shot here, John Fitzpatrick, 35 to 1. Quick look though at end zone targets or anything like that. Again, we're only looking at 2 weeks of data here. We can make it 3. Which still Musgrave then has the edge if you're going 3 weeks for the targets there. Where I want to look efficiency here. No, where is it? Base. Gotta move over here to end zone targets. With Christian Watson again being the guy. So we're gonna do this. I'm doing John Fitzpatrick. I'm not using the king of the end zone boost on any of these, but I'm doing John Fitzpatrick and Christian Watson for my Packers today. And let's just check Watson one more time. It's 13 to 1. Like it's the same price as Circa, which I don't love. So Romeo does fit the bill. But I do think that Watson is a guy that I'm interested in. So double dose of trouble here, Fitzpatrick and Watson for the Packers. Again, this will be the only game where I have 2 guys on the same team for a first touchdown. I just think that this is the game where we will see potential, long shot score for first rather than I think KC, Dallas, Baltimore, etc. are 2 teams where we'll see potentially more chalk. But I want to check Watson base props as well to see what we're dealing with here. So receptions, I'm going to start with receptions because I think he is going to be getting like a higher overall target share. I think both teams struggled around the football, and Jordan Love has done a great job against the man-to-man style defense that the Packers won. Where's Watson? There we go. So receptions for Watson, it's 3.5, -104 FanDuel, so it is slightly better than Circa, good to bookmaker, etc. So I'm actually going to add over 3.5 receptions for Watson to a lay right now, and then we will build it out as we go. But this is a leg for one of the 50% boosts that I definitely anticipate utilizing. And I will say that we're definitely going to be betting some like crazy long shots as well. We're going to try to find some like just EV legs that we can lock in, but we're also definitely going to be betting a some like 2 touchdowns and things like that, because I do think that there is some potential for that, and we can mix and match games, right? We don't need to SGP just this game. And speaking of, let's quickly go to Cowboys Chiefs. So I bet the over 52 flat -110, and I think it might be the squarest bet on the board, but I also don't care. I think it's going to hit. I really do. I think that both these teams are susceptible to getting beat in the air. And speaking of air, I want to check some anytime odds. Well, I'll build definitely a siloed anytime touchdown parlay, though. Like I don't care about mixing and matching legs. To me, that doesn't make a difference whatsoever. But let's check some. First off, Georgie P. Pickens receiving yards. I'm curious what it's at right now. So FanDuel at 73.5, Circus at 72.5. So Pickens is getting priced finally about where he should be as the dog that he is. And he's obviously been on an absolute freaking tear as of late here. Lamb is at the 79, so we're still getting the WR1 treatment, 80.5 here at Circa. So FanDuel still 1 yard shy, but it's in the same realm as Penny and Bookmaker. I think that either or, it's like kind of like a pick your poison. I mean, they've both been obviously fantastic. With Pickens just doing some otherworldly stuff. Let's go to my boy Reshi, receiving yards. I am also interested in receptions as well. Circa's at 77.5, FanDuel's at 75.5, and that's the best price in market. I know FanDuel is sharper in these, but I'm adding that Rashee Rice right now. Receiving yards, 75 plus. I'll check 80 plus quick. It's plus 104 for 80 plus. I'm going big or going home with Rashee here. He is their dog. 80 plus receiving yards for Rashee. So 2 legs already. Watson and Rashee 3-1. And we'll quickly go to Ravens Bengals because there are some guys that I like from the get-go, and this is how we're going to build up this first boost here because we're already getting the best odds. I like Andrews as well as Likely. We'll check both their odds because if Likely really is at a massive discount here, it might be the Likely show, which already kind of showing that he might be at 24.5 yards. The Bengals get smoked by tight ends, and Likely is a guy who can do a lot of catch after the run here. Andrews is at 40, so still pretty low, 40.5. Going to do a quick FTN here and look at recently what the how big the splits have been for snap share between these two guys, because I do think Likely might be the guy right here. 45% catches. We know Lamar's been bad, but Lamar's been playing some pretty good defenses lately. Off the injury. Targets for Likely, 11 targets. Routes run 60%. So running fewer routes, but I think that Nuke been running routes, 10 targets. Nuke's getting his target share up a bit, but still 40 yards. Likely only 11 catches, 5 yards. We'll look at air yards here. A dots. So I don't really need a high A dot, but 8.4. Andrews, I'm locking in Likely as my next leg. So we're going to do could potentially add more than 3 legs, don't get me wrong here, but these are 3 guys that I love from me standpoint. And the what's 30 plus is 124 at FanDuel, same price at Kalshi. Likely has in his last 3 games only 42 yards, but again 11 targets. This Bengals D is so soft. Let's see what a Likely adding the. We have 50% boost. And I want to use one of them on a nuke, but I'm not going to call anything safe because that's just not how gambling on sports works here. But receiving props, Isaiah Likely, 30 plus. That brings us to 796. We use a profit boost here. It's 1194. I'm going to add some more weeks to this because I just am curious. We got to make sure when Lamar starts here. 15 and 8. Like he is getting the ball thrown to him. Yoshivash 375. So the Ravens defense has been so damn good since I've gotten healthy. I know that T. Higgins. I know that. So let me take a deeper look at that because it could be interesting because just from a value perspective, we know Jamar Chase is the Raven killer. But I do want to lock this one in. So I'm going with reward. Okay. I'm going with Christian Watson over 3.5 catches. Rashee 80 plus receiving, Likely 30 plus receiving, 1194. My max wager is 10 bones on that. I'm locking that in. That's the first boost that I'm using here. We're going to definitely be using the second one on a nuke. We have DK boosts. So again, boys, we are not short on action. I will be betting some like other fun stuff that probably don't even need a boost to get us 10-1. And we'll be checking the EV screen as well. So don't you worry. But first bet, 1194. Watson over 3.5 receptions. Rice 80 plus. Likely 30 plus receiving yards. 50% boost at FanDuel. And we have another boost. We have some jackpots. But I'll pull up Yoshivash for you and just look at the market here. Jake yesterday on stream said he liked the first half under, and I actually like that concept a lot. I don't think that Joe Burrow just comes in and starts slinging. I really don't. 375 the market is great, right? So I'm not gonna talk you off that by any means. 275 profit, 280 FanDuel, 315 circa. So it is the best price. But I don't think that's automatically going to be like the Joe Burrow 2021 tour just because he's back and healthy. Because the question is, one, how healthy is he? He's coming off surgery to his, turf toe, which is a serious injury, as we know, as we've learned with some players here, especially with Joey B. And at the same time, um, the Ravens defense has been great, like really, really great. And I know no T, but speaking of any times though, for this game potentially, I'm so interested in Likely. The defense has been so bad for Cincinnati, especially against tight ends. And for a guy who hasn't really been running a ton of routes, he is his prices aren't too great though. I'm not going to lie. But he has 2 end zone targets in his last 4 weeks, but Andrews has 5. So let's check Mark's price quickly, though it's obviously going to be worse than this. But see if there is anybody sticking out like a sore thumb here. No, we're deep in this hole, man. We're in the 110 range for Mark Andrews. So again, the chalk will prevail today. I really do believe that. And speaking of, there's a touchdown that I've been talking about all week that I'm absolutely betting, not anytime, but 2+, and that's Rashee Rice. And I'm down to parlay this. It's still 5-1 here at FanDuel. It really hasn't moved a lot at all. Went to 490 a bit, went back up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a parlay of Rashee 2+ with something. So we'll build it out on FanDuel as if the best price. Might as well build it on DK also. I'll quickly add it to DK on my other screen just because with pricing, we know that they can definitely just like waiver and like even if the odds are worse, they might like mix it up here and do some crazy stuff. But Rice is plus 425 for 2+ there, 500. That doesn't mean that'll be the best price, but I think Rashee Rice for 2 is absolutely possible. And let's look at the big boys here, like what's a Lamb, what's a Pickens. Got to stick with the dogs here, and also what's a Fergie actually. A Fergie is 215. 223 Novik, which is a bit annoying, just from a sense where it's not going to be greatly priced out of DK, but like if you want to bet this 233 on Novik is intriguing. So I think Fergie, the way that the Chiefs play their defense, they let a lot of things happen over the middle, and they're bad in the play action defense. We saw it big time against the Chiefs, where we even had against the Colts, where like Ashton Doolin on some play action, but they're not going to have to sell out to stop the run to stop Javonte Williams as much. So it's not the same. It's not apples to apples there. We got to check, not Lepke. I mean, honestly, who knows at this point, Thanksgiving, but meant to click Lamb. Where is CD Lamb? 140 circa 140 MGM. So again, we're not going to be like looking at probably the best prices at all things here, but if this was a Sunday, right? We'd be passing on this, but because it's Thanksgiving, we're going to be probably betting that regardless. But Pickens, still gonna do our due diligence to find the best odds. Pickens also 140. And Packers Lions has a high total as well, but I do think that this one has potential to not really be as big of a shootout as it's advertised as, but it doesn't mean people won't get in the end zone. Obviously, Christian Watson's a guy that we have anytime, 210 to circa. But Romeo on those short routes, but what's actually Wicks? 339, circa not even pricing Wicks. All right, so I guess we could start cooking like one of the DK boosts. Let's see. I just want to remind myself, and we have the again the promos for bed and everything. We got another hour here, so no rush just yet, but time will be of the essence shortly. And what are these details again? They are 220% boost, 3+ leg lays. So we could definitely get a bit creative. Wicks anytime 330, so we're not getting anything great pricing wise, but I'm not shocked by that. Gotta always look at Gibbs, even though he hasn't had success against the Packers. MGM hanging a low price there, but it's not that far from Penny. Amon-Ra, always got to check the big boys like this. 110. So the chalk receivers are getting priced where as they probably really should be. Jameson Williams here, 185, 190 circa. So they are showing the best prices. Let's go back to the EV screen quickly and filter through all three of these games one more time and see if there's any legs we can just quickly pull right from the EV screen to add to this DK boost here. And we'll bet first touchdowns, obviously, and everything. But let's start with search of Packers. Emmanuel Wilson, 30+ rush. I actually like that. I think he is going to get some love. I'm not betting Gibbs unders. Don't get me wrong. Goff pass attempts. Jameson Williams under 3.5 receptions. I actually like this. I'm not going to lie. Plus 110 here. I mean, even money at MGM. This is definitely probably a good bet. I think he's a bit like he should go off, but he's somebody who just every time he should go off doesn't go off. 112 at DK. I'm going to add this leg for one of the boosts, actually. Yes, I know I'm talking about overs, and I do like, again, some of the chalky nonsense to prevail. But I think for the classic reverse correlation king that JMO can be and is, I think he's in a spot for that. I'm going to add JMO under 3.5, 112 to the slip on DK. Quickly run through the rest of this. I'm not betting Gibbs unders. I don't care. Receptions, at least. Rush yards, maybe convince me. Rex, absolutely not. Jacobs under 2.5, I actually kind of like. He's banged up, and I think that Emmanuel Wilson really showed like a lot to me, honestly. Last week, like, he really looked good. I know it was a pretty decent matchup, but still, he looked spry, man. Pacheco anytime. See, like, I hate this because he's not scoring, and I've been burnt on Isaiah Pacheco so many damn times, man. So many damn times. I have a Hunt anytime that I got it the same exact price one. Actually, no, 175. This is 270. It's good to market, so it's like, how can I ignore it? But he doesn't get the love. They go to Kareem Hunt time after time. Like, you'd have to have Pacheco like break one. It's coming off an injury. So that to me is a bit, I don't know. I can't get I've been burned by him like 8 times. I've seen EV on him 8 times for touchdowns. I bet it every time. I haven't hit one, and I know that's just variance. But likely over receiving yards at DK. Like, I don't want to double down, but I do want to double down. This is just EV. This is just like you're giving me 2.0% to bookmaker in Novig, 23.5. What was that at FanDuel? I'm gonna check FanDuel manually quickly. Here so I could see what the price that we bet that at was, because if this is like a yard or two lower, I'm all for it, man. Receiving yards, like these 24.5. This is 23.5. I'm adding this to the leg really quick for DK. I know we have an alternate line already. And because I'm doing this, I probably should bet the Pacheco. Like, it is EV, and like, why would I, if I'm already just doing that for EV, I should probably keep going. But a guy we have no action on yet, and I might remove that leg. Oh, it already moved 24.5. Okay, so makes our decision easier that we already have it in a lay and have that leg going, so we don't have to double down. And I never care about doubling down, but with the boosts and for today, I do want to have a bit more reach per se. What are Fergie props at? Receiving yards, receptions, etc. We'll start anytime. We looked at it already, but always good to check again. Always good to check again. Fergie anytime. 215. 223 Novik doesn't fit the actual bill technically, but I actually kind of like that. I will check rushing and receiving yards and receptions as well, but that touchdown might be the answer for the lay. I'm not gonna lie. Fergie receiving yards is as high as 37.5 circa, 37, 36.5, 109 at DK. So actually the best price there. But it's like DK is weird with their like 20 pluses. They do 25, they don't do 20, 30, etc. The 25 is 267. We have a boost. We could go like a square and like do a bunch of like alternate lines. I hate doing that kind of, honestly, but I'm I'm going to stick to regular receiving yards here on DK. I'm going to lock in Fergie. Receiving props, receiving yards. $36.5. Jake Ferguson. I know you got Packers shed. What do you think about Packers under 10.5 first half on DK showing EV? So I don't know, man. I as much as like again, you know me, market over everything. I do again, like I said, expect this game to be like a lower scoring game. But here's kind of where I see a lot of issues for the Lions. They're also coming off OT where their defense played like a shit ton of snaps in that game, whereas the Packers are like absolutely fresh, more so defensively, of course. But I think the Packers scored 10.5 points in the first half. I'm not going to lie. So I have JMO and Fergie in here. Let me do it a game line run through. We'll start with Ravens. Cincinnati second half money line. No, I'm not doing any of that. Okay, we'll do Packers. Detroit -1.5 showing EV now. So Detroit money coming in, it looks like. And then Chiefs. Dallas second half, KC third quarter. So nothing that we normally are betting here from the EV perspective. And let's check again, see if anything new popped up here. I can't get to the under 10.5. Like if you're not on Packers and like you see the EV and you bet that straight up, like you know I'm not going to say don't do that. But like for where I'm at with my position, like that kind of comes off as like a somewhat of a fade or like a hedge in a sense. And like while you've seen me do that many times, where I've had first half of one team, full game others, etc. On a day like today, I'm gonna refrain. Let's see if anything popped up here. I want to see what GK's price is on this because I actually kind of like this. 117. So MGM for a straight's the best, but this is going to be a less fun lay, but more just like good bets lay, which is not a never a bad thing here. I'm adding this leg here. Jacobs under 2.5 receptions. So right now we're at 548 with the boost 658. So we got some work to do. I want to get to 10-1. Let's go Chiefs again. We just did this. See this Pacheco. I mean, that's like in the zone, 2.1%, which isn't so high. What's FanDuel been doing movement wise? Drop from 250 to 40. For the ugly lay, it doesn't fit the bill necessarily. What's a Gibbs like? Okay, so we're seeing going back up here. Where'd it go? Gibbs over at Rivers. This is great. 113 DK. Now, if you have Rivers, I'm bet this immediately, honestly. Plus 150. Look at the market, like 10%. Alternate line. Matchup, like love. Just got hit. Just went to 138. Which is still good to market though, somehow, some way, and still definitely has EV. I'm gonna see what Gibbs's receptions over. So his base is 5.5, 113. They're giving him. I know he's had some problems against the Packers on the ground, but I think that they gotta feed the man there. So I'm adding Gibbs, 1146 with the boost, 1376. JMO under 3.5 catches. Josh Jacobs under 3.5 catches. Gibbs over 5.5 catches. Fergie over 36.5 receiving yards. And I'm going to get even crazier. I mean, I don't love having 3 legs in the same game. I'll take out Gibbs. What if we just go and add an Andrews touchdown? See what that brings the lay to. Action in all 3 games. More of a fun sweat. If we add Andrews anytime, plus 105, that's 1228, boost 1474. So I'm doing that. Williams, JMO, and Josh Jacobs under receptions. Fergie, receiving yards, Andrews anytime. Before I lock it in, just doing one more look at the price here. And we will bet some straight touchdown lays as well, and also utilize some boost and some big stuff here. Anytime tutty. Let's see. Where is Marky Mark? It's the worst price though. which is annoying. We are boosting. Is this WinBet 129? If WinBet still exists and is in your area, that's a great price for Mark Straight. ESPN's pretty solid as well, 125. I'm still locking this in though, $5 max bet. So like, I'm in 4-legger, all 3 games. Not trying to necessarily do that, just kind of how the cookie is crumbling. I mean, actually, like it is fun to have a sweat in all games, especially if you keep moving on. We still got first touchdowns to bet, don't you worry, and more boost to use. So for FanDuel's boost, it's going to be so odd. I feel like the bonus bet can't be good unless. I mean, let me reread FanDuel's rules for all 3 games actually, because like I want to know how they're doing it for a 3-game slate. It's obviously always for prime time. So let me just oh my god, it's got more profit boost, more info. 2 25% profit boost tokens. But these are for live bets. Okay, so we still have some live ammo. 2 DK live boosts, 2 FanDuel live boosts now. So I'm not complaining about that. So the touchdown jackpot, I want to read how it works with 3 games. Hold on. FanDuel's bugging on me. Now it's not the time to bug on me, FanDuel. If they have another like crash that they had during the 4 p.m.s a few weeks back, that's bad business. So the jackpot for the 3 games. Okay, so it is. It is per game. So you have 1 boost, but it works for games. So I guess they're giving out I guess 2 mil per game. Okay. That's what it seems like to me. If anybody's reading it differently, let me know. So this is just first or last. Anytime TD. I kind of think it could be a likely scenario here for the boost. I think he'd be underutilized. I think he's definitely live for a first. He might even be my bet for first touchdown. It's also 270. So with no Circa, like FanDuel is like anti-likely. I just don't know if that's just like because it's the later game. They haven't like made their full-blown decisions yet, or if like they are. I mean, they've kind of moved up, but they've came at the pinnacle of 18-1. I'm using my FanDuel boost. This isn't like DraftKings is the longest touchdown, so that's a bit more intricacy there. I'm using my FanDuel jackpot on Isaiah Likely. Gonna have to wait until the night time for it, but it's take some 3 naps during this day, watch a ton of great football, and Isaiah Likely catches the first touchdown. Everyone's gonna be happy here. So I'm going Likely plus 270. Touchdown jackpot selected as reward. Likely is my FanDuel TD jackpot entry. So let's cook a straight touchdown parlay. This one is going to be the chalky. Let's build our chalky TD lay. Maybe we'll use the DK boost on it. Maybe we don't boost it. We shall see what the odds are looking like. And we still got first tutties to bet for the Lions as well as the other 2 games. So we already have our Packers. For people just hopping in, this is what we bet so far on stream here. I have Packers plus 3 and Packers money line. I have Chiefs and Cowboys over 52. I have Lamar over 20.5 rushing yards. I bet all of those yesterday. And on stream today, first touchdowns for the Packers. We have Watson and Fitzpatrick. We have a parlay, FanDuel 50% boost. Watson over 3.5 receptions. Rice 80+ yards, Likely 30+ yards. Boost on DK. Jameson under catches. Josh Jacobs under catches. Fergie over receiving yards. Andrews anytime touchdown. And now Isaiah Likely for our FanDuel touchdown jackpot bonus. I think we cook a straight up TD lay right now just to like mix it up here quickly. Leg number 1 and we're going to have a 2-touchdown slip with him as well, a fun one. Lay number 1. I've been talking about him all week. We could bet 2 chalk lays. I'll just be comparing prices. 115 at Circa. If I was in a Circa state, I'd bet that. I mean, this 112 at Novig. I'm just gonna bet that straight. I'm not gonna lie to you boys right now. 112 straight, 1400 liquidity. Okay, I'm logging into Novig. I'm betting that straight. Adding into touchdown lay also. Don't get me wrong, but I am betting Rashee Rice anytime at -112. If I need to even pitch you boys on it, best price in market, 1. 2, you know how dominant his target share has been. Dallas's defense is absolutely beatable, and like Rice, 112, -112. Yep, I'm in. Straight bet. Again, does not mean I'm not including that in the chalk lay. As a matter of fact, I absolutely am here. But give me all that Rashee Rice anytime. So I'll add it to both slips here on FanDuel and DraftKings just so we can compare prices for this touchdown lay. Probably won't use the boost unless it's on DK. 50% FanDuel boost. We're going to wait for like a nuke, like a fun ass nuke. But we're gonna build a chalky every game TD lay. And we're gonna start with our boy Rashee. I'm adding it to my DK slip here. Went down to 4-1 first on DK, so it's -140 DK 130, but the 112 on Novig. $1,400 of liquidity, boys. If you guys want to tail, if you don't have a Novig account, if you're on YouTube, click the link in the description and use promo code BetSmart. You get a purchase match, so you purchase $25 Novig coins, which is real money. You get a free $25, so you get $50 to spend. And Novig's awesome, amazing platform. So use promo code BetSmart. Link in description on YouTube. So Packers Lions is the game where I'm like less concerned. Where are they giving Derrick Henry? Obviously, if he's like -200, he's a pass. But if he's like -150, I'm intrigued. But he's gonna be -200. Yeah, okay. So that was a pipe dream there. But this game, fireworks. Other bet that I definitely, or other player from the ball knowledge here, we have Rashee Rice. And the secondary for this 140 is sexy on its own, honestly, here at MGM here. But the second leg that I'm interested in is George Pickens. Or I'm looking at CeeDee Lamb. Just hold on one sec here. I think no, it's Lamb. It's Lamb. Pickens is their boy down the field. Lamb is their, yeah, I want Lamb. 336. If I add Lamb to this on DK, it's 276. So 2 legs from this game. Then Packers Lions. We'll find a first tutty to start off the day here for the chalk TD lay. So we have Pickens, we have Rice. I'm kind of anti-Gibbs. I'm anti-Jacobs. Sticking with my guns here on who I think is going to be the touchdown scorer. Christian Watson, 210 FanDuel, best price even. So I'll add it both to DK as well. But we might just have this 3-leg banger and not even consider the last game unless we just add the king and just for the cherry on top. But Christian Watson, I really think is WRL potential. This is 1253. DK will build. We're looking for, and I'll see what it is with King Henry if it's honestly worth it. But I do think he's like I'm never gonna say like a lock, but I think he is just the closest thing to it. Don't want JMO. I'm anti JMO today. This says 1009 here, and then let's add back on FanDuel King Henry for the chalk touchdown lay. It's 230, 1842. Jamar 125 is sexy. Don't get me wrong. I can't ignore Jamar, and I'll definitely cook up another one here. But like if it's like my like gun to head touchdown scorers here, this is what we're looking at. 1537 to 1842. I'm gonna see what it is with the boost. I'm guessing 25%. It might even be still worse, but I gotta build it on my phone quickly. So King, TDs, Rashee. S- well, here's the problem. Because I'm dumb. I have CD in this slip, and I have Lamb and Pickens in this slip. I want Lamb. I want Lamb. I'm going with the big boys here. I mean, obviously Pickens is a big boy still, but I want Lamb. So okay, 17-21, 15-37. Okay. I was like, those odds were too far off. I know they often are off, but it's like that's a bit too much. DK Watson with the boost is 1845 17-21. So it is better. But do I want to use the boost on this? I guess I do because it's a parlay boost. So max bets 5 bones. I'm in. TD Lay, Reshi, CD, King, Christian Watson. That's the chalky one. I'm gonna do some fun stuff as well. But speaking of fun stuff, I already have an idea for the second one that I want to build out. Maybe using the FanDuel 50% boost here. And this is what it's going to be. It's going to be not the sexiest bet of all time by any means here, but Reshi. I was going to say. You guys probably already know where I'm going with this here. Yeah, see, that's 20-1. That might be the slip here. That might be the slip. Obviously, it's talking about 4 touchdowns, but only 2 guys. Unlikely slip, but 20-1 is not going to sit here and say it's a good price. But with that being said, I'm seeing what that is with the 50% boost on FanDuel quickly on my phone. So I guess we know it'd be 3-1, 30-1, excuse me. 30-1 for Rice 2+ and King 2+. Yeah. I'm in. Rice 2+, King Henry 2+. On the King Henry front, like I know his rush games haven't been efficient lately by any means, but this Bengals defense is next level horrible. And some of the opponents I mentioned earlier that King Henry's played recently have been good. So in the rushing game at least. So there's our FanDuel boost. Still have, and there's our DraftKings boost. So we still have a more to go. We have some first touchdowns to do. So let's pivot to Chiefs Cowboys first. I know we still need a line first, Tutty, so we will get there. But let's lock these in. So I'm looking at Eagles Bears. Dum. We know Reshi's a crazy price. We're gonna do our normal process for first tutties here. And enough said. CD Lamb. Enough said. 10-1, 9-1 circa. WR1. I'll check Pickens and Fergie just to check. Fergie 16-1, not getting value there. And Pickens, worst price, CD. As the answer to that question. CD Lamb for first touchdown. Do we rip J Love 303 TDs for Toyota Thon? Honestly, maybe. Yeah, we haven't really looked at a lot of passing props just yet. Market I feel like I ignore, definitely not intentionally ignore, but like it's not always the market that's like top of mind for me. And I feel like the very square statement I'm about to make, but there's so many times where I'm just like, debating between this receiver, that receiver, like who's going to be the one. It's like, well, if you love both of the receivers at like 70+ yards and the QB's passing yards are still available, like why not just bet that? But Lamb first touchdown locked in. J Love. My only concern with Love is the re-injury risk. Now it is his like off shoulder. It's not his throwing shoulder, as we know. One big hit, man. He could be down for the count, unfortunately. But that's technically true with everybody. Don't get me wrong. But no, I definitely think that some of that is possible. And on the Chiefs side here, let's just do some like good old fashioned shopping. I do want to quickly FTN and like see the last 4 weeks here what the share has been like. We obviously know Rashi's king of this offense, but I do want to just take a look at some long shots because the Chiefs have the big guys, Rashi, Travis, and Worthy, but they do have some other guys who. What am I doing here? Hollywood, Juju. So I want to look at some of their routes running percentage here. Even like Noah Gray, but I mean 35%. It's the thing is it's the big three with the Chiefs, man. Like you can get some potential Mahomes circa dominating. From a process perspective, we pass, but the other option would be Worthy. He's missed Worthy on some deep down the field throws. I mean, the pricing isn't great, and so that's not going to be what we go for. But I mean, Brashad Smith get crazy with it. No, let's go to Worthy anytime though, because I think Worthy could be a candidate for. It's 240 at circa though. It's so bad. I mean, not surprised. Let's do an EV intermission here and run through the screen, see if anything's been moving. But there is that gamesmanship with the longest touchdown. I mean, the average depth of target for Worthy, I'll read it out loud here. Last 4 games, it's 14.8 yards. Tyquan Thornton, though, is 42.3. 1 of 4 on catches the last 3 games. Obviously not sustainable, but against Dallas, we'll circle back to that because maybe because of the promo being longest, that Thornton might actually have some value on an anytime tutty. But let's rip through here my filters and see. Let's go Packers. Gibbs over receiving yards. Don't have to beg me. Williams under we have in LA. Jacobs under we have in LA. Now we're in the 1.5% already. So Cowboys. Brashad Smith still showing. Hollywood over. Kelsey over at there. Pacheco, no. Javante, Dak, rush attempts 2.5. I actually kind of like that. Playoff-esque game, Thanksgiving, Dak putting his life on the line. We see quarterbacks do it frequently, so not hating that look here. And then Ravens. Chase Brown, I'm actually a bit interested in. Lamar under rush attempts. This is interesting. We know he's dealing with injury. Bengals don't get a lot of pass rush, but I think that also does lead to situations where he has so much time. He just waltz out of the pocket and make moves. Also, obviously, a kneel down candidate for today. I'm not betting that at only 1% EV. Probably worth grinding. Hopkins, Chase. We're already so low here. So let's go back to the touchdowns here. Definitely betting another TD lay. Absolutely. The TD lay that we took just for everybody who just hopped in. King Henry, Watson, Rice, Lamb. I do want to take one that's like a bit like less chalky, but like more maybe only have 3 legs, one from each game. Boy, I have a 2 in one game. I mean, the total's 52 and the odds are what they are. But let's go back to Chiefs Cowboys here and look at Tyquan Thornton anytime, because if the odds are even good at DK, obviously with it being as unlikely as it is, how many routes is he running? I just want to check that quickly again. This is like a boomer bust. It's one throw, one catch, and that's it. 31.1% of the routes the last 4 weeks here. I'll check full season out of curiosity. Obviously, we know that there's going to be not great data with Rice, and I'm not even going to switch my screen here. Just going to read this out, but he's at 43.9% full year. Again, Rice missed some time, as we know. All right, we're looking for Tyquan Thornton. See, this is like I knew DK would do this because like they have the promo and it's longest. I mean, 6-1. It's just too ugly. I mean, it would probably be a good bonus bet pool, though. It is a bit square where it's like, oh, the guy with the 42% A dot. If Javonte's scoring a TD for the boys, I would say yeah, probably. Honestly, absolutely, yeah. Chiefs Cowboys run game hasn't been great, so I don't think he's gonna like break a big one, but I do think there's gonna be way more than enough like passing back and forth where there will be red zone trips. There will be, you know, a first and goal at the Chiefs 4 for Dallas, and they give them the ball 2 times in a row. So I think Javonte is definitely live to score. I mean, I'll pull up his props for you right now as well to find the best price. Still figuring out AC. I think Lamb is interesting. He really is. Lamb or Pickens. I could be convinced either way. I haven't locked anything in, so I'm still green grass there. Look at pricing. I'll pull up Williams quickly for Manu really quickly here, because I do just want you to get the best price if you are betting it. If you're parlaying it, of course, still. This 130 penny, 135 at DK though is looking pretty nice. If you're building a lay, you could start there. And back to Lamb for the promo. For today, I guess I'm less invested in getting like value, quote unquote, where I'm more interested in making good bets. I mean, this 140 at MGM, I'm like, that's, for another TD bet without a boost, I'm book agnostic. So if MGM is going to give me the best price on a 3-leg TD lay, I mean, we have Lamb in that lay already though, but I do want to kind of diversify. So let me look at what we bet already. So we have the likely for the jackpot, so I'm definitely willing to double down on likely. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to start off whatever slip that we end up betting here with likely, because I do want to bet a bit of also deeper down the board, but a more of a mix here. And I think that likely is definitely possible. He's getting the end zone targets. I know Andrews has been the one who's scoring. Looking like FanDuel might dominate the prices there, so I'll start building it on FD right now. TD score props is a likely 270. I'll add that here. I mean, circa not pricing him. Back to Chiefs boys. I mean, I don't have any Javonte exposure. We have Lamb exposure. I think Worthy is interesting because he could take the top off that D. We're not getting the best pricing, which we know we weren't going to get. And what's Kareem moved to? So I have a Kareem 175 ticket, not to brag, but we talked about on stream yesterday, and it was even 160 still on stream yesterday, so that was a beauty. But we haven't looked at Travis though. No way, it's good. Yeah. I can go. We could do a tight end here, and buy a tight end, a Jake Ferguson. 210, 215. I'm adding Fergie to this. We have a 2 tight end. We might cap it off with there's no Laporta or Brock Wright. So we could go John Fitzpatrick and go deep down the board. National Tight Ends Day on Turkey Day. I'm adding Fergie. That's already 1047. We could ignore the first game and just bet a Fergie likely at 1047. I'm going to build it on DK real quick. Just out of curiosity here, though I think the pricing will definitely be better on FanDuel because of their straight odds are better, but let me quickly build that. Obviously, Andrews is a chalk. I'm betting this. I don't think we need – I'll check the odds here. There's no chalk in Packers lines. It's Gibbs, it's Monty, but I'm not in love with either of them, and Jacobs. I'm not in love with any of that trio today in a game that's definitely going to be tough to get things going on the ground. And there's no go-to wide receiver. I guess it may be Amon-Ra, who's had some difficult times low-key against this Packers team, but obviously Amon-Ra's a dog, so don't get me wrong. But a 2-leg at 1047, do we need to mess with it just to have a leg from all 3 games? The obvious answer is no shot in hell. I mean, it's for fun, but we're already at 10 to once I see a 10 to 1, I'm having fun. Obviously, we can get 100 to 1. I'm having more fun. But once I see 10 to 1, then I'm like, all right, good to go. That's it. I'm betting that. likely Fergie, 2-legger, 1047. No overthinking, no scraping together a leg just to say we have a leg in all 3 games. We have multiple legs in that game in these games. So likely Fergie, 10-1. 1047. I'm in. Still got promos to use. Still need a first tutty for the Lions here. I'll go back to Amon-Ra. This was 750. Now it's 7-1. So too much yapping here. Missing it. I mean, even when we first started stream, literally when we first started, but we were never going to get there that early. 7-1 is definitely a lot less appealing. What's a Tesla? Okay, we're not getting Dyer to Circa. We haven't looked at Monty really, 12-1 Circa. So not gonna be the bet we make. And JMO we looked at already. 11-1. Like JMO again on paper should have a good game, but like every game on paper he should have a good game, except for Washington, where we fucking hammered him and cashed. Because I know my team. He has not done well. But then we can go like it's so like then we're talking about like nonsense here. Rockridge's not playing, correct? Yeah, I was gonna say like no like crazy down the board for that. I mean, where's the freaking Penei Sewell first tutty odds for some Dan Campbell ridiculousness? And I guess we technically don't need a line first touchdown. We don't need anything realistically, boys. But the ASB dropping at 750 is kind of annoying because I really did like it at 750, and I should have pulled trig on spot. Don't have a Chief yet, but the Chiefs are going to be like the annoying guys. It's so funneled to, their main guys. What was Worthy? I might have to break the rules just for the fun of it. What's Worthy's target share? Or route run, I should say. Obviously missed some time here, so I'm going to filter back to. I'll switch my screen to FTN in a second here. But I'm just clicking some weeks. Okay. Once we get to like now, he's running routes on 86% of the plays, 18.9% target share, deep receiving or air yards. I should go to average depth of target. We know is 12.5. Hollywood Brown's interesting as well. Route share though. Let me go back to usage. I'll switch the screen here. Target share. Hollywood's 50%. I mean, it's at week 11 and 12. Going back a little bit to when Rice was back. I don't even know if this is updating. It's games. There we go. 7. So we're going to when Rushy's back in business here. And we'll take a full picture here. It's Kelsey. It's Worthy. It's the man of the hour himself. But Hollywood, 14 targets. Noah Gray, 13. Taekwon's deep down the field. Rashad Smith in the passing game, which I've spoken about. CEH has been getting a role. Pacheco's back, so a lot of nonsense in the backfield there, which is why I'm still Team Hunt, because they're going to give the ball to Hunt when they got a first and goal at the 3, which I think we'll have multiple of this game in a shootout here in Arlington. But Worthy is the target. Yeah, he's number 3 here, behind obviously Mr. Rashi, our best boy. Kelsey is still getting it done, and Worthy. Hollywood's there at 4, so let's go back to the odds on Hollywood. I also saw he needs one more touchdown to hit an incentive. Obviously, doesn't really mean anything this early. We have a lot of weeks left, but I am at least intrigued with the Hollywood deep ball. No one really pricing him. I think it's Worthy, boys. I mean, Rice is my obvious thought, but I'm not betting a 5-1 on Rice or 6-1, especially with not like that value. Seems like there is an issue with some of these books loading, because we know these books were showcasing 2 seconds ago. So unless odds are just like rapidly moving, might be a quick integration issue right now. Yep, just like that, it's back. Okay, and Kalshi not pricing. Oh, there we go. Easy, fixed. PTO always the quickest whenever things go down or there's a slight issue. They're fixing that shit immediately. Worthy ESPN 15-1. Same price as Circa, but still better than FanDuel, Novig, and Kalshi. Third in target share. I actually think it is going to be, well, let's check Hunt one more time. There's no way his odds are good. Yeah, it's even 12-1 Circa. So I'm going Worthy. So we have CD and Worthy for our first TUDs in the Cowboys-Chiefs game. Still have 2 first tutties to bet in the Ravens game and the DK promo, and we can bet probably one more like fun long ass shot. Like I'm talking crazy long odds. That's going to be the vibes play of the day. Though the Henry and Rice is the vibes play that I like actually think is like realistic, but we'll bet a vibes play that like might be more of a true donation, unfortunately. Why is Xavier Worthy? Oh, there he is. I'm blind. So we're not going to get good odds. I think we just have to get that out of our head that we're not going to get a good bet worth betting from a price perspective for the longest TD promo because DK is just like shading all their odds. Because of that promo and because they can and because it's going to be probably the biggest betting day of the year besides the Super Bowl, which I guess is technically next year or this past year Super Bowl was this year, but you guys know what I mean. With Christmas probably being a close third, if not surpassing this. But these games are ridiculous. We have Chiefs Cowboys. The volume on Kalshi, I'm sure, is ridiculous. And then at the rec books, we know is going to be ridiculous, undeniably. Okay, let's go back. Let's lock in our first tutties for here. Interested in Gesicki. Pricing isn't so great. Jamar. Okay. You boys know AEC. If you're still here, you know this. Even though it's not best to Circa, 9-1 for Jamar Chase. Even with how well this Ravens D has been playing, that's a bet. I do want to check Chase Brown. Even Chase Brown 8-1. It's interesting though. P. Ryan is back. Might take a bit off of his workload because Brown has been playing great ball. I'm over Zay at 9-1. I'm absolutely over Zay. We know the King's going to be chalk. Yeah. Jamar at 9-1 is done. DK 9-1. Yes, the same price as Circa. Yes, we have that understanding that odds will be a bit chalked today at this point in time on such a big day. So we're gonna do what we gotta do there. We're gonna take that for what it is. On the Ravens side, I mean, we have him for the promo. We have him in a bunch of stuff. 18-1 ESPN done. Done. I like Likely today, and you're going to give me 18-1 when the rest of the market is 15-1 to 13-1. Yes. Yes. There it is. Isaiah Likely. Yes, we kind of have a double exposure with the boost. We also have him in the TD lay, but I don't mind. I don't mind. Let me get in on that right now. FanDuel just gave me you've been online for 2 hours straight. Yeah, I know. I have been. I've been having a blast. Isaiah Likely. It's probably going to be the King. It's probably going to be Mark, but I'm willing at the odds to take his flyer on the guy who has the second most red zone targets and in a tight end friendly environment. Love it. I'll go back to you for Lamb, for you AEC for the longest. I think for the Cowboys, it's is gonna be another big 3 game, I guess big 4 if you include Javonte. I meant from, like, a pass catcher perspective. I think it really is gonna be that simple where it's a funnel to Lamb, it's a funnel to, Pickens, it's a funnel to Fergie. Um, Again, we're not gonna get the odds that we'd love to see for these promos. Longest TD. Oh, actually, it might even be Pickens. Let's check out their A dots. Let's do an FDN run quick. I want to see what their average adjusted targets are. They're probably comparable, honestly. But we know that Dak is going to throw those fades to Pickens deep down the field. You know that even if it's double covered, Pickens' ability to make those catches, like we got to take a second and just it's so fun. It's so awesome, man. Um, 20 plus yard catches. Pickens is 4, Lamb is 4. So they're both on the same page there. This is only the last couple of weeks, don't get me wrong. And yeah, I was going to say A dot has to be similar. And speak of similar, it's 0.1 off. Yes, this isn't full season. Lamb missed some time. Even if we filter a bit more, I doubt that they're going to be that far off. And yeah, the gut instinct from straight ball knowledge. I did not check this prior. Though, again, Pickens, we're talking 0.3, man. We're talking 0.3. So, from that sense, it's a toss up. So I guess it's better to go with the odds. Pickens is probably more popular at this point, but I don't think we can be like digging in too deep. Tyquan was shot. What was Hollywood's anytime though? I'm willing to check that out. 425. So actually, from a price perspective, it could be Hollywood, but yeah, AC, you're on the money. It literally is a coin flip. It straight up is, and like we could, I could find a coin somewhere. We could flip that and just make our decision for that for that promo. Obviously, we could pivot to either other game, but it really is from a. There's not a single metric that's going to be like the driver because we're taking price out of it for now, which like this is a rare time where we'll take price out of these kinds of things. And then going through to like the numbers, this is a very rare time where like there isn't going to be something that's moving the needle either way, unless again we pivot off of both. Gonna take one look at one guy just to take the look. Where is he? Am I blind? I am blind. Is he a healthy scratch? I was looking for Noah Gray. So Watson is definitely possible. Watson is definitely on my radar. JMO as well. Just because that's their profiles. Watson is probably good, honestly, because let's go to GB here. Because Love does beat man really well. 19.7. So if we want to talk about like really getting it deep down the field there, it is Watson. Romeo has had some success, but much more games played, a higher catch percentage, but that's not really too sticky. I mean, Matthew Golden, is that a sneaky pivot? Let's check his odds. I don't trust Golden though, by any means at this point. He hasn't done crap. And just having speed isn't going to be there. 370. If that was like 500 while this was off market, interested. And I'll check GMO one more time. I know we've checked him a few times, but we've looked at like almost every prop that we could look at this point. I don't know. I don't trust JMO, man. Though the Packers corners really are bad. Got a market pause here. A little freeze-a-rooney. But they're all coming back in. Still 180. Let's see if any odds move significantly. This could be an interesting data point here. Not really, though. Looking like it. I just am curious what the number is for JMO's A dot. Just a quick stat question here. We could also go Jamar. It's going to be chalky. Backdoor long reception, Zay Flowers. he doesn't get in the end zone, bro. Like I want Zay Flowers to get in the end zone more often. Um, I am just curious what his A dot is, honestly. This is more of a curiosity thing. It's not that high, man. 9.3. We know that the Lions haven't been moving it down the field that well. So I guess I'm not that shocked to see, but I guess I definitely would have expected it to be at least 10. Um, so JMO's kind of out. Any other guys who are like deep threats that we might be like missing? What's Wicks? He's not a deep threat by any means, but he does beat man. Can he catch is another question. Um, let's go to Ravens Bengals again. Maybe is it DeAndre Hopkins on a deep ball nuke though? That's not no pun intended on the nickname there. It's definitely not. It's Bateman. I'll check balls A dot too. While we're here, let's have some fun with it. Um, we have to consider that like we can't really be expecting us to hit this, right? We hit that one with Trey Harris, so we hit our one for the year, and that was a 13-1 on FanDuel for their promo with the last touchdown. So like we got blessed to a degree. So just check the A dots here because nukes, I'd be surprised. It is 12.9, but the targets are this is a lot of weeks. Obviously, I'll go full season out of curiosity. We can go Devontae Walker and get crazy with it. Got 4 targets on the year in 5 games. Nukes is 15. Bateman's is 12. Tylan Wallace. That's just like ridiculous. Bengals D is so damn bad though. Zay's 8. That's only 9. Nuke is just 25 targets. Only Bateman 32 though. So it's not like that's massive. I don't really trust Nuke like that though, realistically. Do got to wrap up shortly here. So we are going to obviously use the boost. And I do want to cook one more TD play. We have a loaded card. I'll read through the card one more time. It's the last time we read through the card, and then we'll go from there. So first touchdowns in Baltimore, Cincinnati, likely Jamar. First touchdowns in Chiefs game, Lamb and Worthy. We also have a Ferguson likely anytime touchdown parlay. Rashee Rice 2+, Derrick Henry 2+, FanDuel boost. DK boost, Rice anytime, Lamb anytime, Henry anytime, Watson anytime. Rashee straight anytime tutty. Likely for FanDuel jackpot. DK boost, J-Lo under catches, Jacobs under catches, Fergie over 36.5 receiving yards. Mark Andrews anytime touchdowns, 1474. FanDuel boost, Watson over 3.5 receptions, Rice 80+, likely 30+, 1194. First touchdowns for Lions, Packers, Christian Watson, John Fitzpatrick. Have not bet a Lion. And then I have Packers +3, Packers money line, Chiefs, Cowboys over 52. So we have a loaded card as always, and been around for a minute. Let's check the EV screen one more time. This will be the last run through here. We'll use the DK boost, and then we'll build a lay. And then we'll do one more crazy odds lay there. Another ball knowledge lay. Dotson still showing. I mean, that's for tomorrow. Yeah, we'll do what we've been doing, just filtering through the games. Gesicki under. We're in the 1%, man. We're so low. What was the first one? I missed it. Rashad Smith still showing. Hunt under rush attempts. Hold on. We might have a straight bet alert. I think we have a straight bet. Pacheco back. Rashad Smith. Clyde Edwards-Helaire taking it. Hunt only on short yardage downs. Straight bet alert. Straight bet alert. Hunt under 9.5 plus 106. 7.4% EV. Yeah, I'm loading on betting. I'm betting that. I have it anytime, but again, I don't think that's really correlated. It's gone. Oh, no, it's not. I have to go to over under. I'm in. 7.4% EV to Novig and FanDuel. 140 FanDuel, 120 Novig, 140 even at MGM, 136 Profit X. Straight bet. Did not expect to be locking another straight like that, but 7.2% EV. No complaints. See how that one moves. Kelsey over Pacheco. Okay, so again, we're getting to the lows. I'm not betting that Pacheco touchdown. I don't care. I don't care. Lambo receptions, 0.7. Okay, so last look through here for Packers. What was that first one again? Jacobs under 2.5 receptions. I like that. If you have Hard Rock, 4.8, even though it's 4.8, I like that. Romeo. Okay, so we're just low here. We're just low. I didn't switch my screen, boys. I'm sorry. But we didn't miss anything. We have that Hunt. We'll see how that moves. 9.5. Rushing attempts under. In a game where I really do think that we'll be seeing a nice shootout here. All right. We gotta make a decision for the DK boost. I mean, the DK promo, like, again, we're grasping at straws a bit. I guess I would pick Chiefs Cowboys for it to be the game. Toss up between Lamb and CD. I mean, Rice has the yak ability, but the odds are not even plus. I want a plus odds just because I'm a bit greedy. AC, you want to make the final call? I'll tell you on this because, again, it's not, there's no random data point that's just going to pull up and make us bet anything that we weren't going to bet anyway, or like change any decisions. Like if chat wants to make the final call for what we use the DK boost on, I'll gladly lock that in and ride with you guys. There's nothing that I'm going to say or find in the next 9 minutes here that's going to really sway anything. So chat, feel free to lock in and get some stuff going for that. But let's check passing TDs here, because we can always do a little 2+, 3+. So Dak to throw 3, 272 DK. Mahomes to throw 3, 143. I'm gonna build a lay right now, starting with this Dak. That's only 272 to 270. It's not like there's really great pricing there. Passing TD parlays are fun though. Let's see. So I have everybody who I really like from like just a general perspective in lays or straight on touchdowns. Doesn't mean we can't bet another one here. I mean, Dak anytime could get a little bit frisky. Did that last game, of course. What's a Kelsey 2+? I'm just curious. No. So you could bet a straight 2+. Like, what even is like a Pickens or a Lamb? Lamb 2+, 10-1 here, FanDuel. Honestly, very interesting. Pickens 2+. Let's see what he's at. Also 10-1. So that's a pick your poison again. Another straight coin flip for who is going to be, if it's Lamb or if it's Pickens for the 2+. What's worthy? Though again, it's Rice for me, but I'm curious. 19-1 FanDuel. And then the other two games, besides like King Henry or Jamar, which we haven't checked enough Jamar stuff. I think principalistically, if that even is a word, I do need a Jamar anytime in LA because he's the Raven killer, and I know no T. Higgins to make things more difficult. I also, like I've said a few times, I don't trust Joe Burrow in his first game back here. I really don't. Okay, so we could do this. How about a Jamar? We'll add that one leg here. Jamar Chase, anytime, 115. I'm comfortable with it. Better than Circa right now, as it is. So that's always nice. Don't want to like keep hammering Rice. We have the Worthy first, but I mean, the amount of Swifties watching this game, and like, yes, I said that out loud as a grown adult, is gonna be it's gonna be up there. We have no Kelsey exposure, and they still are running a lot of stuff to him, especially in the end zone. So I'm gonna add Kelsey to this last TD lay of the day. I swear. So Kelsey, Jamar, 330 on FanDuel, 320, 312 on reverse, 330 DK, 312. Then if we go to Lions, Packers, if you go Amon Ra, that's 739. So that's not like sexy enough, honestly. I want that 10-1. 725 on FanDuel, 739 DK. So those are the only three guys. So I guess I'm interested in it. I don't have action on, but with that being said, like we have so much Rice. Like we don't need to bet more Rice. We don't have any Javante though. I could add Javante to that because I'll get us a 10-1. That's 1313 on FD. 1360 on DK. So I'm adding Javante. So this is the last TD lay I'm using. Travis Kelce, Javante Williams, Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown. So that's it for TD lays. I will bet one more. I will use the boost. Not the boost, the touchdown jackpot on FanDuel on DraftKings. We'll use that really quickly. And then honestly, I'll probably bet one more DGen lay in like the car. About to go upstate for some Thanksgiving, and I hope you guys have an amazing Thanksgivings. But let's just use the jackpot, the longest touchdown here. And I think that the move is I can see Love airing it out. I think I'm going to go Christian Watson, honestly. I'm going Christian Watson. Manu, rocking with you. Christian Watson, called out in chat. Numbers back it up. Anytime touchdown. I'm not doing first or anything crazy for that. I'm doing anytime touchdown. Christian Watson for the promo. Thanksgiving, king of the end zone. It is a minimum of $5. I'm only betting the 5 on it. And that is that for now, boys. I got to hop. I hope you guys have an amazing Thanksgiving. You're watching on YouTube. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It'd be really much appreciated. Watching on X. Also, hit that follow button. And if you're watching on X, also go to YouTube at GoBetSmart and subscribe. It'd be awesome. And again, all likes on stream really do go a long way, and all subscribers really do help the channel grow. So I appreciate all of you boys. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. If I do bet some other stuff, maybe I'll tweet some stuff out. I'll probably bet like 2 more donations, and that's it for Thanksgiving. Crazy odds at this point. We have a great slate. We have a bunch of straight bets. We have a bunch of fun ones. We have a couple of good EV ones mixed in, so hopefully we're locking in, boys. But amazing stream. Appreciate you all. Hit that like button on YouTube, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for a stream for Black Friday football. Have a good one, boys.